crazy to me that it's already time for us to pick our February TBR together. Where is time? Where does it go? This will be my first sit-down TBR of 2026 because I skipped January just because I had no idea what I wanted to read last month. But I have a better idea. I have content plans and I'm really excited for all things February is going to bring for me. I don't know what it is, but something about February always makes me feel more productive. Maybe that it's a little bit shorter, so like I gotta jam pack the month full. But I'm very, very excited for everything I have planned this month. Some exciting announcements to come and so much more. Of course, if you've never been here before, I pick my TBR every month playing my TBR game called Snakes and TBR Stacks. It's inspired by the game of Snakes and Ladders. It's really simple. I roll the die. I move. If I land on a square, it tells me my prompt that I have to use to pick my book. If I land on a snake, I go down the snake and I add another roll. I have to pick another book. So if I'm at 5 books, I then have to pick 6 books. If I land on a ladder, it's kind of a reward prompt and then I just move up the ladder as well. I told you, simple, 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 and it's so much fun and always keeps me on my toes and helps me with direction for the month because sometimes I struggle with direction. But before we get into my actual picks for the month, I wanted to talk about the sponsor of today's video. I am working once again with Skillshare. I personally am a big fan of Skillshare because it makes learning and growing so accessible. Skillshare has creative classes for hobbyists, professionals, and everyone in between. It's real people on there who are teaching real creative skills. I've seen other booktubers on this platform, other just YouTubers that I look up to. Currently, I'm taking class by Anna Tinner, who is a YouTuber, and this class was all about creating your own brand and standing out. It went over things like thumbnails, typography. I really got back to the basics because when it comes to learning, I also think relearning the basics has always been something I find very, very helpful. And I love that I can do that so easily on Skillshare. My other favorite thing about Skillshare is that it's really easy to fit into my busy schedule. You can start a class, pause it, and come back to it at another time. This way I can get ready every single morning and take one of the lessons in that class and not have to worry about cramming stuff in or feeling defeated because I've gotten behind in a class. And I love that on Skillshare I can specifically learn things from people who have also experienced the thing that they are teaching. Anna Tinner has a strong personal brand, so I felt comfortable looking to her for advice on branding. And with that, I would love other people to have access to Skillshare as well. And so the first 500 people to click the link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for working with me again. It is an incredible platform and I can't wait to see what my next class will be on there. Okay, let's roll right on into some of these prompts, some picking my TBR because I'm excited to learn what I'm going to be reading. It is a new year because I didn't do a TBR in January. We're starting right at the beginning for the first time in a year. And let's do our first roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Weapon on the cover. This is honestly quite an easy one, but there's something I really am meaning to do this year, which is tackle my physical TBR that has been sitting on my shelves for years and years and years. I don't care about having a big TBR. I only have 131 books in my TBR. Like, that's fine. I'm a mood reader. I like to have a TBR. The problem I'm currently having is realizing that the same books are staying year after year. I'm reading the new books I bring in, but there are some books that have just been on here for far too long. And so I decided to take this easier prompt to really scour my shelves and find something that I know I have had sitting there for a while that I'm still intrigued enough in that I want to try, which hopefully is all of them, but it might not be. So I decided to pick up Scorpica. I think I've owned this for like 3 years-ish. This I think follows a queendom. It was an epic fantasy debut, but this author does write historical fiction as well. A centuries-long peace is shattered in a matriarchal society when a decade passes without a single girl being born in a sweeping epic fantasy. I don't really know a lot about this one. I think I picked it up on a whim because I was looking for more matriarchal societies and more stories about womanhood and things like that in the fantasy genre. I'm always trying to uplift more women writers in epic fantasy, as we do see it tend to lean a little bit male author orientated just because that is their target demographic, and I want more female written stories. So whenever I see one, I do typically like to pick it up and try it, but this has been sitting on my TBR for far too long, so let's give it a shot. If I don't like it, that's okay. We will bless and release it, but I don't need it to just take up a shelf space and never read it. I think I've been hesitating because of the fact that she writes historical fiction. I think that this could lean a little bit more historical. I've also heard of no one talk about it, which in reality means nothing because the marketing budget really only goes to like the most popular books. But it does sometimes make me nervous, but I am interested in this, so that's why I picked it for my first book. And there is clearly a little weapon. I think it's a desertish setting as well, which I always enjoyed, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just thought that because it's called the Drought of Girls, but they mean there's no females, not that it's a literal drought. But also like that cover, it gives me like desert vibes, right? Like that screams like there's like sand dunes back there, and I always love like a desert setting or a more unique setting to what we normally see in fantasy. So yeah, I'm excited to give this one a shot. Roll 2. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pink or red cover? Well, I always struggle with the cover ones if they're not like black, white, blue. Those are what I predominantly have. I actually was thinking I had a decent amount of pink covers, but I learned I do not. As I said, I'm trying to tackle my physical TBR this year. So I pulled off every single pink or red cover that I have physically that I haven't read. And for this one, I'm letting my patrons vote. The 2 top tiers get to vote on my TBR, just like one pick every single month. So I put literally all of these in a poll. And I don't know what's gonna win yet because I've only posted it like 30 minutes ago and I think that they should have a little bit more time to see it than that. Let's just quickly name the books that I put in the poll and then I will let you know which one won. So we have The Obelisk Gate. I gave the first book in the series 4 stars. Rebel Witch, I gave the first book in the series 5 stars. The Things Gods Break, I gave the first book in the series 4 stars. The Loop, it's a standalone that's been on my shelf since, I don't know, like 6 years. The Minders, I do love John Mars. The Return, Rachel Harrison is hit or miss, but has written some of my favorite horrors. Finlay Donovan is killing it. Outside of my comfort zone, I've owned it for a while and I'm very intrigued about it. Speak of the Damien by Stasia Stark. I do own a special edition of this one, so I should probably get to it. Currently, Rebel Witch and Things Gods Break are winning, so I'm assuming one of these will win. To be honest, I want this one to win. I've been putting this book off for so long for some reason and I just keep doing it, so this one should probably win and force me to read it. But I'm really excited to read this one, which is funny because when I finished book 1, I wasn't sure I even wanted to continue in it because it read like a standalone to me, but something has been calling me back to this world. But I also really need to read this because I think it's going to be 5 stars. So yeah, here is the winner for you. Roll 3. 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Creature. Okay, this is kind of a weird prompt. It means that there's a creature as part of the story in some way, shape, or form. It's left pretty open for a reason. I definitely like my prompts to be a little bit more vague so that I can put whatever I want in the moment in them, but still give me a little bit of direction. I'm just seeking a little tiny bit of direction. So I'm putting a book that we've seen on many a TBRs. Of Flames and Fallacies by Courtney Wims. I have heard only incredible things about this book and I want to read it so badly, but things just keep getting in my way. I put it on TBRs and then other vlog concepts come up and I never end up reading it. And also because I've only heard good things about it, I'm a little bit hesitant and scared to read it because what if I'm the person who doesn't like it, which that happens so often to me, but I hope that I am the person who literally loves it. This follows a girl who ends up with a dragon egg when dragons are illegal and she has to kind of journey across the continent with this dragon, and so there's a dragon in it, and that's my creature vibe that I'm going for. This cover is literally stunning. I mean, look at this. Like, it's gorgeous. I think it's enemies to lovers as well. She has to smuggle a dragon egg across the realm during a war between the Arterians and rebels, which means she could be killed by either side. And then there's Cole Ashburn, who is her old flame, so I think it is a second chance maybe. And Cole is torn between his promoted role as captain in the king's military and his heart. I'm intrigued. I'm very, very, very much intrigued. Maybe not enemies to lovers then. Well, I guess they are enemies if they're on like different sides. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to read it and find out. Roll 4. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last year release is pretty easy for me most of the time. There's always things that I'm excited to read that I didn't get to read in the year before. And for this one, it's actually going to be my book club pick with Mel from Melonor Reads. We run a book club together through Patreon called the Not So Indie Archive. It started out only reading indie books, and then a lot of indie books were getting picked up, and we just wanted to give ourselves a little more breathing room, so we call it the Not So Indie Archive now, because originally it was the Indie Archive. And now we can read a mix of traditionally published and indie and not stress if a book gets picked up that we wanted to read or something like that. So we are going for the month of February with our patrons. We are reading Conform by Ariel Sullivan. This is a dystopian romance that I've heard really, really good things about. I am a dystopian lover. I actually think when it comes down to it, that is my favorite little niche genre, like sub-genre. I don't think I've met a dystopian book that I don't like. Point blank. I love the conversations, the themes, the discussions in them. I love watching characters rebel and take down the system. I love relating it to our fucking life right now and how awful it is outside, and getting hope for like our situation through these things and seeing that there is a way for us to win and take down the freaking system. This has a blurb from Veronica Roth, and I love Divergent. I don't know, I'm expecting this to be absolutely incredible. I know nothing more than that it's a dystopian romance. In the far future, one young woman becomes torn between two loves and two sides of a rebellion in the first novel of a sweeping dystopian romance series. 27-year-old Emmeline spends her days alone sorting ancient art for destruction. Oh, that's interesting. Centuries after a catastrophic war nearly decimated humanity, society is now ruled by an elusive and technologically advanced group called the Alum, who constantly monitor the population's health and mandate procreation contracts. Isn't it crazy how that's the first thing they choose in a dystopian world? Women's bodies, women's rights, our right to children, always the first to go. But her bleak existence is shattered when for the first time in decades, an alum named Colin takes a mate, Emmeline. Baffled to why she was chosen, Emmeline is swept into the dangerous game of the courting phase where one wrong move can mean elimination. Soon she discovers that clandestine rebellion is rising and that her mate may be keeping secrets of his own. Colin is confusing, both cold and protective, and worse, she finds herself drawn to the very last person she should be falling for, Hal, a member of the Resistance. As she draws closer to both Colin and Hal, the Illum exercise their power in increasingly brutal ways, forcing Emmeline to question everything. Most of all, whether she'll have to give up her heart or even her life to stop them. That sounds really good. I love a love triangle too. I am that girl. I know that love triangles, like, people hate them. I love the drama. Give me the drama. Give me the two sides. Give me the yearning and the tension and the vibes. I think that this has potential to be a favorite book of the year for me. Honestly, dystopian in general tends to hit me really hard. I tend to enjoy it. So yeah. And roll 5. Are we gonna get no sneaks? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pet pick. Okay, this one is a little bit difficult because I don't currently have a pet. I recently moved out with my boyfriend. We bought a house, and so I had to say goodbye to my little kitties that are my parents. And Nick and me are looking for cats. We have been actively refreshing adoption pages, just waiting for the cat that speaks to us, for us to get two little kittens of our own, but I don't currently have any. However, I have some wonderful friends who also have some pets that I love, and so I have asked Mel's cat Wilder if he will be my stand-in pet for this video, and he is going to get some treats from me because I love Wilder. I haven't even met him, but I just love him, his little antics. So thank you, Mel, for setting up a pet pick for me. I have no idea what is going on this. She asked me what I needed to pick, and I said, surprise me. You have the books that I like to read. You know what I want to read. Like, you know what I'm interested in. You know what I like. So surprise me. So it's also a friend pick, I guess, because I have no clue what she's picking for me, and I will insert the clip of Wilder. I do not currently own it. I do not currently have it. So whenever I get it in editing, I will insert it, and we will all be very, very shocked about what I'm reading this month. I'm about to film another video, which is why I'm in a different shirt, but it's only like 10 minutes later, and Mel sent me her footage, so let's watch it.
We have 3 different options: King of Ravens by Claire Sager, We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark, and Dragon Curse by Elise Kova. I hope that you will love any of these, so let's just bring him in and see what he gives you. He is dying to go pick. Okay, buddy, go choose. Go choose. It is Dragon Cursed.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I love Elise Kova. I have loved her books. I loved Arcana Academy. I love Air Awakens. So Dragon Cursed is an incredible pick, and I'm very, 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 very excited to dive into it. Thank you, Wilder, and thank you, Mel, for being my little pet pick today. I can't believe we only landed on 5 books. I only have 3 currently that I can hold up to you because 2 are still being picked. But I do think this is a very, very doable month for me. I have exciting plans. I kind of talked a little bit about how I want to tackle my TBR in some way. So I'm thinking about doing a video on that I'm excited about. I think there is a balance that I want to make. I want to make sure that I am tackling some of those older TBR vets, but I also do not want to not read new releases because I'm enjoying them. I want to make sure that I'm still doing what I'm doing good, which is bringing in books that I've already read or bringing in books that I'm excited about and love. So anything I haul is still being counted towards my physical TBR, and I want to make sure that I'm also equally reading those. I just want a little bit more of a balance in my life. So I'm thinking about doing something like reading until I unhaul blank amount of books or something like that, because that gives me a more variety of things to choose from. So if you have any other suggestions for videos that I can tackle my TBR a little bit, both new and old books, I would love to hear them down below. I'm obsessed with doing a can't stop reading until blank. I've done 2 of them already on my channel, so I will put them up on the screen for you to check out. They're some of my favorite videos to create, so I definitely think you're gonna see a lot more of them. I'd love to know what is on your February TBR. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a shopping cart emoji, and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.